Shri Sai Ram. Let us start the session with prayers. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Offering my most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of a master, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, who is embodied in our Sadguru. I welcome all the leadership board members, staff, and all my brothers and sisters of the Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence to this afternoon's words of wisdom. As it is said in the Shiva Puranam, Annadanam Mahadanam, Vidyadanam Atah Param, Annena Kshanika Triptihi, Yavat Jivantu Vidyaya. As the meaning of the shloka goes, feeding a person is the greatest donation that a man can do. Helping the same person by transforming the knowledge is far more than that, because he gets a momentary satisfaction through food, whereas the satisfaction he gets through the knowledge is of lifelong. Therefore, all the schools and colleges established under the umbrella of Sri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Gurukulam imparts holistic education which supports every child to realize the potentiality in all walks of life. The aim of the university is to inculcate Indian culture and spirituality in the young minds to produce leaders for the society who live by example. Sir, we are all very pleased to have you here this afternoon to discuss on the topic innovation in science and spirituality. On behalf of all the members of the university, we heartily welcome you, sir. Now, I request S.A. Vasudev, sir, who was a scientist in DRDO for over 33 years. Currently, sir is the Director of Innovation and Incubation Center at Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, to introduce a speaker today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Invoking the grace and blessings of our Swami and Sadguru. First of all, I heartily welcome to our campus Professor Y.S. Rajan and Shri K.G. Mohan, both from Bangalore to our place. Just to introduce Professor Rajan, Professor Y.S. Rajan, Ignaswamy Sundara Rajan, is a scientist and administrator who has made major contributions to various aspects of the management of science, technology, and innovation. He is an honorary distinguished professor in ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Born in April 1943, Professor Rajan took a master's degree in physics from the University of Bombay in 1964, and he started his career as a research scholar in the Physical Research Laboratory. And from there, he rose to hold several important positions in India. There are so many of them, but I will mention a few. He was the scientific secretary of the Department of Space, ISRO. He was the first executive director of TIFAC, that is Technological Information Forecasting and Assessment Council under the Department of Science and Technology. He was the ED of TIFAC for 14 years, wherein he executed Mission Reach. He was the Vice Chancellor of the Punjab Technical University. He was scientific advisor to the Chief Minister of Punjab, and he was also the chairman of the Nalanda University Board. He has written books His first book was as a co-author with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, titled India 2020, A Vision for the New Millennium. And he has also authored another book called Discovering Your Power Quotient. He has authored more than 200 articles and papers in international journals. And coming to the honors that he has been bestowed with, first, he was awarded the Padma Shri by the Government of India in the year 2012. He was elected a member of the International Academy of Astronautics in 1986. He was chosen as the Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering in 1998 and as the Fellow of World Academy of Art and Science in 2010. So it's clear that we have amongst us a person of very great eminence, and it is my great privilege and honor to have had the opportunity to introduce such an august speaker to this gathering. So I now welcome you, sir, to talk to us on innovation through science and spirituality.
but still I will be heard there. Are you able to hear me? Okay. Discovery of what? Discovering things which is already discovered is innovation. I'm doing a copycat. Tell me, doesn't matter. Good that you try to answer. First thing we answered is great. Come on. What classes you are all in? What subjects? Arts? So how many are science? Okay. In the science, how many are physics type? Physics, chemistry, all mixed up, is it? General science. How many of you like mathematics? Good. Good number of people. Okay. So all science only. Nobody from arts. How many art? How many in arts? Arts, what subject? English? Yeah, how many are economics? Yeah, how many are economics? Okay. Why I am asking this is innovation is very linked with economics and science. Of course, English and all that thing are useful in some other form. But without this, without business, without resulting in some operational business, it is not innovation. Anyway, I will explain to you very quickly. I won't take too much in describing all the detail. Ideally, I would like to ask you to answer one by one by one. I won't have the time because the organizers wanted me to talk on spirituality. That I am going to do is going to be a little tough. Because for me also, it took a long time to understand what it is, and I have done. So the first part is on innovation. What you see, what, when, how, etc. I will explain that to you. Then you can ask questions. So note down the questions what you want to ask. Don't do it before I talk. Or don't do it because your teachers told, good to ask. Bade aadmi aa gaya, thoda you have to ask question, you have to impress. I know what questions are sent by impression. I know. Immediately I cut it out. So you have to tell it in your language what you feel like. Okay. Teacher says, sir, I want to know all that. I don't want. I want to prep questions after hearing me. Okay. This is the first this thing. Now, visible, no? Or you have to be moving. See, I will move around a little bit. It's okay for you. So now, first slide. Is innovation in general possible without technology, inputs, or scientific knowledge? Yes or no? Okay, next. Can continuing pursuit of scientific research, that is purely research, astronomy and that type of thing, lead to innovative products by itself? Anyway, I will keep answers. Answer is really no. Most of the cases no. Next. I don't know whether you all read it. Little tough, no? Where is the, see whether this slide. You can see it, no? Science is unquestionably a search for a better. In fact, I have a printout, so I will be able to read it easily for me here. But if you are able to read it, it will be good. Science, it is told not by me. Don't think that I have written it. It's one of the great man who was Sir David Davis. I given all the detail in somewhere. He has spoken engineering as an innovator of change in society and the role of engineering academics is what he had given. And he is a FRS, fellow of the Engineering Society, some many top posts as a defense advisor, and so many things as well. Science is unquestionably, you keep seeing that or keep hearing me, a search for better understanding of the laws of nature, described in the broadest possible sense, from astronomy to medicine to engineering to genetics. What she told initially as a discovery. What is not known to us, we are trying to know. Keep on expanding. What was known, what was not known at the time, we thought that this is what we knew everything. Many of the things what you are reading in today's textbook were not known automatically in our time. Science keeps on finding it out. Despite massive steps in each field, the understanding always remains incomplete. A best scientist will never say, I have found out everything. Yes, I have, but I got more questions. That's what science is. Next slide. Engineering. Do you know, in and around this place is something which make many engineers in India should be proud of. Do you know what it is? Well, very good. Whoever did it, very good. Muddenahalli. He was born here. Okay. Vishwesvaraya is the man who was the greatest engineer of India. Rightly, they gave Bharat Ratna to him. We have not produced another great engineer. There are engineers, but unfortunately, in the Indian society, we say only scientist. Engineering is equally important. And many of what he taught, they are still going around. Okay. So, engineering, what is engineering? What is the difference between science and engineering? So, engineering is, on the other hand, is about innovation, design, and construction of new products and new capabilities. New products and new capabilities. These things are all new, not only a product, new capabilities. In a time, even when we were this one, teachers didn't have this. They will have to shout. They have to do for the full sound. So the capability, and then now you can see in Zoom so many things, new capabilities. We must take care not to define this solely in terms of physical products, but also in terms of services. Your MS window, all of you want MS window, window. So those things are all services. Okay. However, whatever the form of new innovation is, design is inevitably a compromise. In science, I can say, I want to know how the star is working or how a cell is working. But in engineering, it has to give a product that normally involve many things. There is a compromise. You know what a compromise means? Compromise? Two opposite views, but still, we come. To use the local language, very nice, adjust madi. So you push it here, push it there, adjust madi. Each one adjust something, and that is a compromise. And every engineering design is that. Because somebody will say, I need it little bigger. Arey Baba, people won't carry that big. I want small. Because if we give such a big display, very nice. But somebody will say, how will you carry? So like this, there are many things. With a finger touch, don't make the type so small. It can be done, but our hand will be a problem. So like these are all compromise. Compromise between many different parameters. The success of the products is therefore bound up with the efficiency of the design process, which has the role in matching the design requirements to the, which is as efficient way as possible. Now, science, you understood something. Engineering, you understood something. Now, you see what is innovation. Next. In terms of engineering product or a service, an innovation enables it some new advantage and capability. It's not a new discovery. It's a new advantage. Earlier, in 1990s also, we used to have a big PC. I don't know whether you people seen it all. You are all too young to see it. It will be this big. At that time when Dr. Kalam and all, we were having SLV3, a telephone will be a black one, about 5 to 6 kg. This one, big. And you have to shout in it. But now you are having it like this. So they are all new capabilities. Innovation, new products, new things. Innovation enables to offer some new advantage in capability or performance, including cost. Suppose some two mobiles are approximately same in performance. One gives around 15% less cost. Which one you will buy? Lower cost. Even sometimes a little bit lower, but the money available is so high. So the cost is also an important thing in the innovation. And there is a strong coupling between, all these are not my language. That's David Davis' language. And there is a strong coupling between engineering and science, but this does not necessarily mean engineering innovation derives directly from the improvements in understanding of science. So somebody said, you said no. Yes, that is, it doesn't automatically. What is the example? He gives an example. I don't know whether it is there in the slide. Next one. An example, but I will tell it orally. I won't read it out. Steam engine. Are you all aware of steam engine? What is the innovation, etc., etc.? The steam engine, when it was done, thermodynamics was not known as a subject. When the Wright brothers flew the aircraft, aerodynamics was not known. They did it. But later, that is the thing, beauty of the engineering and science coupling, is that why that fellow works. Engineer is not so much interested in it, can he keep on innovating and doing it? But the scientist, why it works, how it is, wants to find out the law. Then they find out the law, it in turn helps the engineer to find new things. Okay, this is a coupling. Always so, it is today so. If somebody says, do more and more basic research, it won't. You have to have a mix of all of them. Next one. Next. So the totality matters. I don't know whether I have it here, but this is a very beautiful summary of, I think I have not put it in here. This is a thing that is innovation, technology, and everything if you want to have. This person's name is Louis Bronscombe. I will read it out quickly. A technology is the aggregation of capability. Aggregation of capability. You know aggregation. Aggregation, you know, no? Your Uber, Ola, all these fellows are aggregated. Your Swiggy, all that are aggregators. Too many things are there, you aggregate it. Aggregation, otherwise, you ask the English teachers, they will tell you aggregate what it exactly means. Aggregation of the capabilities, facilities, skills. See now, capabilities, facilities, skills, knowledge, and organization required to be successfully done. Suppose all this place was there, some building was there, you won't have a beautiful college. It requires an organization. So many structure, this, that, everything requires an organization. And skills, knowledge, and facilities. If facilities are not there, you can't perform. You'll be performing only at that level. Suppose you leave me into a farm without anything, with only something to plow, and I will do only at that level. But if you give me certain diesel motor, pump, some other pumping material, then I will do much more. I will start having tilling and other thing more. So that are all called facilities. Okay, next. So this one, I don't know whether you can read fully, because this light is, external light is disturbing it. See, I will tell you what it is. Linear paths. If you have read some books on innovation, some maybe many places, old books, old textbooks continue. Linear path, basic research, applied research, prototype, commercial model, this one, that one, etc., they will show. Those paths are gone. Similarly, something called S-curve in developing. They are all there, but there are multiple things which are coming in. This is what he shows. Quality, earlier they were working on quality improvement, cost. Can you do it on delivery? Because if somebody doesn't come, if I ask for something, it comes after 2 months. I don't want. So delivery fast. This is all earlier they were working on. Now it is services and also technology. Next. I think you will find it difficult to read it. So I will tell earlier what it was. Imitate. Somebody had done somewhere in the world. You imitate it and then supply. The same product will be something, some item. It is not fully possible now because there are laws protecting against imitation. These are all what is called as intellectual property rights. Just as the land, you have the kata, all that they give, and you put a fence around it. Say that this is my property. So like this, any new idea, new innovation done, that can be protected. Automatically doesn't get protected. You have to apply. Government doesn't come to you and then say, I'm giving you a kata. You will have to apply for the kata. Then only it becomes your property. So like this, there are some rules about it. You should remember when you are developing technology or innovation or advising somebody, this will be necessary. So, see here, standard product, also innovate contract. Contract, see, I have given there, your IPR issues are important. Technology, it's some business perspective. Business perspective gives you cost consideration. Suppose you have got a very beautiful thing done, which has been accepted and everybody says very good. And if it is to be made into a product, money has to be put. Can anything come without money? Nothing. So in ours, dharma, artha, kama. Artha is put. Artha is between the two. If the artha is not there, dharma is not possible. Artha is not there, kama is not possible. So artha is important for investment. For that investment to do, it is called business model. Suppose you are telling me, sir, it will be 2 crore to make some 1 lakh product every year. I make a 2 crore investment. I should get a profit on that, no? Because suppose I don't put on you, I put it only in the bank. I get around 6% interest. They will take some tax on that. At least I get 4-5% without any work. Now I am struggling to do your thing and then making into a product and doesn't give money. So it is called return on investment. They will plan the return on investment. Then another thing is, can supply chains come? These are all the things which will be seen. I won't explain too much on it. I will explain in some other context. Next one, leave it, skip it. This also you skip what I had told. Total chain of innovation. There are so many things in your IPR. This one I explained some. If all of them are unleashed, it will work. If it is not possible. Even a person who does, because this here you have got a violin and so this music also. Even for a music, simple solo singer, you won't listen. You need the fellow back and then you need that, you need this. You have at least some people supporting. Even some people who do violin solo, they will have some people who mridangam and something is there. You always need some side thing. But for a technology items, it will be some 200, 300, 400 clusters which will be necessary. This is what I will explain a little bit in the subsequent one. So science and technology, you saw some chains. They are not linear. It is this input, that input, multiple input facilities, all that is, they are all chains. These chains, STI, for you will find many names. STI, science, technology, and innovation. Currently popular, they are using that word. These chains are very important. Take this mobile. What it is, what technology it belongs. We will say Airtel. Airtel is a company. Android is a one platform. I can also have in MS. If it is iPhone, it will be in this thing. There is electronics. There are so many things. Metal. If this was not there, it is out. The touch screen is another technology. Then that white and other thing that comes, that thing on the item, they are all paints. Paint is another huge technology. You will be wondering, what is this? The paint itself. Because 5 times you do, and if it goes away, it's useless. You won't be remembering every time where this side and that side, etc. So this itself has got about 100 an odd technology. This itself will be having about 25, 30 technologies. There are microphones, camera. So these chains are important. In addition, if it is to flow into actual life, whether you are wearing a sari, whether you are wearing something else, whether you are having a specs, it has to be available in a large scale to a large number of people. That is being called scale up. From a small level of demonstration, I should be able to go and scale up. First thing I found out, I was not knowing about your institution. Bhupal told me Chidambar, and then more importantly, for Mohan KG, sir, he is there in the back. When he says, sir, you should come here. Okay, I'll do. Then I did a homework about what it is, what type of institution you are. You are scaled up. Scaling up is very important. Otherwise, it can be there and go away. It will be there. You are there about 17 districts of Karnataka. I don't have you looked at it? Have you looked at where you are? There are so many things, so many campuses, so many things are coming. It will expand. Students are now coming. Many more will come. You will reproduce. Maybe some more items they will do. So that is called scaling up. If somebody does something doesn't scale up, it won't work. If a child is born, if it remains in mummy's body and a little bit dismayed, then it is a pygmy. You will not use it. It won't scale up. So we all have to scale up. So the scaling up is very important. And unfortunately in India, one of the things we have been poor at has been scaling up. Thoda itna kar diya, oh, we have done it, and then happy. Even same thing happened. Now it is different in sports. Occasionally we had some great one cricketer, one this, one that one. Now they are doing it. But even get stuck in cricket itself is bad. They are doing it in several fields now. So this is what is called scaling up. Now similarly, women going or work. Earlier it was an archetype was jada se jada. Mostly they won't go. Some people will go for nursing. Many others will land up as teachers. And that too as a elementary level. This was what it was. Now I am happy. They are also in the jet fighters, this one, that one, various fields. That is the scaling up of women's empowerment. Otherwise, there is nothing. You can say that I have got some, all teachers in India are all only women. It doesn't enough. You have to scale up into different fields. Okay. I hope that you got it. I call it as a scale up chain. If the scale up chain is not there, innovation won't spread. It is not innovation. Kar diya, theek hai. Acha. So then, in each of this chain, scale up, that is STI chain and the scale up chain, there are multitude of changes. That is the problem in, like, it doesn't matter, I will take it. I know what I have written, but still, there are multitudes of changes. You can't say, see, there is a very nice way of telling in Hindustani, after reading so much, or doing something, Are Thoba is enough for me. You can't sit at rest. It will be continuously changing. I was a great mobile fellow. After some time, new things will come. Somebody else will do. Even the mobiles may be replaced. See that handset telephones, what designs were coming out in between, all gone. Many of you don't even know how they existed. Probably if you see an old movie, you will see some telephone being built up. So multitude of changes. Some are slow and continual. You would remember this. Some are slow and continual. And some are transient. Will come and go. Then afterwards, maybe not. Some unknown, but likely to be disruptive. Unknown. As of now, you are not seeing it. It is beyond the horizon. But it may become disruptive. You know what the word disruptive means? Huh? Not destructive, I say. I didn't say destructive. That's why I disruptive. DISRUPTIVE. TIVE. Disrupt the meeting. Don't disturb that. Sometimes the teacher, I don't know whether you had such teachers before you, or you people might have been disciplined in your school. Here you will find it difficult, but in schools you might have, some children will disrupt the class. Teacher, something they will tell. Hey, don't disrupt, I say. Disturb is one thing. Disrupt means you are not allowing something to, it completely takes off and then goes to some other. But here it is used in a positive sense. Existing technologies will go. Mobile was a disruptive technology for the landline telephone. Okay, gone. So similarly, this electronic thing, radios, cameras are disruptive of old time films. You are go and ask your grandfather, your parents are still maybe younger. So that thing they will have a film. It will be put there, photo. In fact, in Hindi, even now, photo kechna, they will say, because the paper will be put kechka. They will pull the this one. So those things are disruptive. Being you have to be continuously, you want to be in an innovative business in anywhere. Don't think only for business person. Even if you are in a job, your work will be completely gone. There was time when telephone operators, always telephone operators will be women because they have a nice sweet voice, they can talk and then do the thing and you can be pleasant. All job gone. Because we don't need, we directly go. We don't need an operator. So you have to be aware of it. So if you do this, knowledge, how the knowledge comes? How the knowledge comes? Knowledge is something what you read. This is called coded. All these institutions are all important. That is called coded. I read a book, I read this, I read that, you see this, all these are coded. Other one is that you can do, plenty available. Then another thing is called tacit knowledge. Tacit means silent, being inside, silent. Tacit knowledge, hidden, sometimes in equipment. See, he is a master, he will take such a masterly photograph, but many of his skills are hidden in the beauty of the camera. Many of you make excellent designs and send it in your WhatsApp or whatever it is. That is because they are available in the equipment, use this software, use that software, etc. They are all built in that equipment. Other one is within organization. Suppose I am brought into this as some staff or something, I will learn many things from here which I will use, which I didn't know before. It is called organizational embedded knowledge. Another one is from the persons. Mostly, there are some people who will do that well. Any cameraman will not be the same, even though the same equipment, some camera persons will be something very good. Some teachers, why you say this much? Not all teachers are, with the due apologies to teachers, not all teachers are same. There are some teachers who excel. That is because it is they have a knack. You'll say they have a knack of teaching. So this one is person embodied. Now I will tell you the percentage of it. Coded knowledge is only 15%. Then other one 20 to 30%. Equipment embodied, organization. Person embodied knowledge is nearly 50%. So what will you do? You will think, "Arey Baba, I go directly to the person." Because it is 50. What they call a low-hanging fruit. But unfortunately, life, they are all intertwined. If you don't have coded knowledge, you can't get those things. So that is why whatever good or bad, many of our ways in which we teach are all not necessarily the best. That is why NEP, etc. has given a lot of freedom to the teachers, to the organizations. But still, this one, that person knowledge is, you can't get it directly unless you get some of it. If you don't have facilities, learning from the person is no use. So some of you may be thinking now what it is. Unfortunately, all the three are that I already told you. Let us now understand the many top leaders in India, they will keep on telling you basic research, basic research. You will find it in the newspaper, but heading. Invest more in science. You will get Atmanirbhar. It won't become Atmanirbhar. 75 years we have invested. Many of these things are necessary. So what you require now? Linear chains are out. There are multiples of chain in the SNTI. Another one in the scale-up chain. Now I'll give you a couple of examples, and with that I will end this. Space, let us take. I will take a social example, because I think that even social examples are commercial examples, but still I'm taking what you call a social example. Have you people read about cyclones? You read, no? So now you are all so young, you see only destruction taking place. The number of deaths are 10, 12, 20. I see every death is bad, but should only you see to cyclone. Every year, the eastern coast gets it. Andhra, Orissa, and Bengal gets terribly. Tamil Nadu almost about 50%. You know why they don't die? 1977, you look at, there was an Andhra cyclone. 10,000 people died. Like this, plenty. Then later, satellite or INSAT, which I was also involved in this, that came. It gave the cloud tracking, everything. Immediately it didn't fall. It came down to something like 1,000 or something like that. That is because some of the chains there, alert, if you see that this message should come, converted into local languages, people should be, because it can track about a week before that the problem is going to be there, get out of these places. So they let run, go to the shelters. So shelters are to be built. Now that is why you are getting a very small number. Cyclones come, cyclones destructions come. That you can't be solved immediately. That is some other thing. So like this, almost everything. You look at vaccination. You all say doctors. Yes, doctors are great people. Nurses are great people during the COVID. But vaccine fellow, very good. But the vaccine, after making it, can it come directly to you? You have to put it in a syringe. You have to put it in this. All that are different technologies. They are the technology chains. They have to be willing with the, this one. Do we, any one of us, think about the CoWIN chain, CoWIN platform? We all think, this didn't work that day. That is all will come in the newspaper. For crores of people, CoWIN comes. I took a booster shot now. Immediate. Now it says, this one has come. First shot was taken. Third shot. I got the printout because I thought somebody, if they ask, are you vaccinated? I want to give a certificate. So you see, if the system was not there, what a mess it would have been. Everywhere ledger mein likho. By the time already people want immediate. You are all one-click generation. If there is one operation here, which I have made in 3 clicks, you won't take it. You want a one click, and then you want, even many of you want even your password to be kept with the mobile operator. Because you want immediately click means your thing should come. You don't want to even take time to write your password. Then later complain that somebody took my words, etc., etc. Okay. So these are the types which will be chain will be necessary. Now I will go to a different topic, because there are so many things which I can tell. I won't tell it. Now I will go to a completely different topic. Don't think that science, technology, application, and life are only with all good things, giving, etc., etc. Along with this, always come also the negative part of human life. It was so at the time of Mahabharata, and it is so even now. And you all have got a great opportunity, because many opportunities are available. In our time, if you do a BA, you will practically not get many things. No, BA, BSc, so many things. Even if you stop there, you will have a good life. You can learn some other skills and get into it. There are many things available. Your opportunities are many. And probably they will even say, work for 3 hours. Correspondingly, you get money. So that you can have, these choices will be available. Now, having said this, security, terrorism, etc. are going to be equally important. Not only defense security, police security, cyber security, many of you, even women, I'm glad that the whole crowd is women, because otherwise I especially take a pain to tell. Even women, you cannot shun away from security, because security is going to be equally important. It is told in our epics. See Kali. What is the two main symbol of a Kali? Huh? One is a sword or spear in hand. Another he will give the Abhayamudra. He's there. He's protecting you. But he is also giving the sword to the. So you know the very this one about Ananya Shantagantoma, like that they will tell, no? In that Dharma Samstha Panarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. In that what it is? You tell one item where Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinasayata Dushkritam. See, leave that. Paritranaya Sadhunam. That is important. That is all the good part of technologies and every science, everything innovation. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasayata dushkritam. If that is not done, paritranaya sadhunam is not there. Yogatshema, and another thing, Ananya Santayatoma, Yogatshemam Vahamyaham. That is, yoga means something what you will get. What you don't know, you will get. Kshemam means security of whatever you already got. These things require vinasayata dushkritam. So you have to be, some of you, I am not saying each one of you, some of you have to be ready for going to that. Many of the American, this one in Afghanistan and other thing, there somebody shot there, somebody shot there. You know who operated? It's not necessary every time you have to go with a gun. They will do some training. But you know who operated? Young girls like you, sitting in Washington, D.C. They will have the imageries and a lot of training. With that, they are just as you do, targeting your video games and all that, that will be the targeting, and then tuck. Algorithms will be there. There are some you may go for algorithms, some you may go, some physically also, because our armies are going to open up. So you have to remember this. The STI and the scale-up chains, these two are necessary to spread, whether you do business commercialization or you do operationally something good to people. Somebody will give the money. Some philanthropists will give the money. A lot of philanthropists, yeah, they got it there. Or you want the security of the nation, your people, your society. Because without that, all this will be useless. I will make you to remember one more thing. That is what the real security of a nation will become. Real good things also for the nation will become. You know Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna? Come on, tell it. Okay. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna is there. He is a Yogeshwara. All knowledge, everything is there in him. He is there. Is it not enough? Is the knowledge and all these good capabilities not enough? You have to have the Dhanurdhara. Dhanurdhara is the tools. Whether it is the facilities and other things, what I told, they are the tools. Here in the security context, Dhanurdhara. What is it? He is not having the Dhanu Gandivam kept in his chariot. Is no use. He is ever ready. So you have to be in your life, not only for the security, for all these things. I said, you have to be alert about what is coming new. Even forget the defense for a while. My competitor is going to come with a new technology, new product. Your thing will be gone. It may be an accounting procedure. Maybe one doesn't know. Okay. Then lot of visual effect technology between art and science. I am telling you, mix up. It is called VFX. VFX technology. Go and find out what it is. They talk about virtual reality, this, that, and all. No. They are all done. Whatever you see, many leaders and everybody which comes in the TV, there may not be the real picture, except when they take really. Otherwise, they are all, you can manipulate it with image processing. Okay, I will stop there. Soil is another area, soil biology, not soil sciences, soil area. Now I stop here for innovation. Then ask some questions. Then afterwards, I will switch over to the other one. Okay. Because I was told that I had to talk something about linking science and spirituality. I'll make you to think on that. I am not going to ask you more questions. Yeah, any questions? Ask, I say, be bold. I was very happy when she answered something in the beginning, discover whatever. You have to be bold to a question. Tell me.
Scaling up as a person, what are the important factors of scaling up as a person?
Scaling up of a person means what do you mean?
Like, you have to grow in person as well, not only with technology, but as in person as.
See, you are scaling up in, I won't use the word scaling up in that. Scaling up in things where things are a multiples of things are being put and they are being taken to a much larger scale. Okay. Scaling up of a person means how will you grow in your life is what you are going to ask in life. That one is not exactly scaling up. How I enhance my knowledge, how I enhance my skills. Now, there is some amount of scale up knowledge is necessary. I'll tell you why. So you keep on reading. I read Shakespeare. You know every word of Shakespeare. You have been in a narrow silo. Or you say, I will learn this much of say physics, some mathematics. You are in a narrow silo. You know, silo means small little hole, thin and thin. So there you don't grow up. You are in the same thing again and again and again. So your knowledge to grow, you have to have multiples of knowledge. That is important. Multiples of knowledge means you can't become everything at the same time. You have to read some English, but within English, there are multiples of different things available. Business management, business English is different from Shakespearean English. Literary English is different from this. Then you go to advertisement, the two lines, the fellows, they catch you. They are all skills, but that skill has come from knowing the market, how people think, how young people think. So in other words, your own knowledge item should be in multiples of things which are there in the world to operate. And if you equip yourself for it, then you are growing up to a scaled up world. Then later, you become, now I can expand on your idea a little bit, because basically it is not bad, but you can't do it solo. Suppose you have hit up a new idea of doing something, some business or some art form or whatever it is. You want to go further, take it further in the world. You have done all this. You find that you are capable. Okay. Then you want to make it spread to many people. Then you have to build what I call as organization. You should know how to build it. See, the founder of this place, the Baba, 1976, he hit an idea. At that time, I think the name was Bhatt or something. So he had that, suppose he is stuck with this alone. I have to do it. You know, he went to Baba. Baba blessed him. But Baba won't give you everything. They will make you work. Even Krishna says you have to work. You have to work. If you see Christian, you will know a little bit of Christianity. Knock, it shall be opened unto you. Seek, ye shall find it. Ask, it will be given unto you. I always ask people, what is common between all the three? One is knock. This one, common between you ask, you seek. So, okay, you. So you have to have the guts to do that, expand you to that. And then he has gone around. He has really scaled up his idea, not himself. Scaled up his idea, but that he has equipped himself in several forms and built this huge one. In the process, you will have a lot of other people. You have to generate a lot of other people who will scale up. That is why I said you can't solo. I myself have to do, I have to do, Gaya. That becomes ego. If you have that ego of that type, that I have to only do, no, you have to build it up. Give it to many others. Give them all credit. Then only they will be enthused to do it. No, I did it. I told her, she did that way. If you keep on doing it, and after some time she will say, let me show her. Okay. So that is, I hope you understood. If you have to build up yourself in multiple fields and then be agile to keep it up, and you want to spread it to many others, you have that feel, not bad. As long as it's not bad, evil things. What is the distinction between Asuras and Devas are all same. Daityas and like that it will come. Dhanavas and Daityas are something. Same father, two different mothers. All same. They have all the things, they know all the Vedas and all. But the fellow, when he becomes, the same person, when he becomes completely obsessed on myself and then I want to do, becomes Asura. That's all. Prahalada was really not Asura. And when in Deva, there are very bad fellows also. So you have to decide what you want to do. And better you do more and more on good, it will spread. That's all what it is. Any other question? Any question? Yeah. Come on, ask, I say. Don't be afraid. Is there a difference of the sari colors in the class? Because I always try to find out a difference, just like that only. Any one of it. Whether I find greens, yes? They are postgraduates, is it? Okay. Otherwise, no difference. Okay. There's some operational problem. Okay, fine. Now, otherwise, I thought there's a very pattern there. There is a. Okay. Anybody else? Question. This side is very silent. Why? Right side, left side. Come on. You are scared that somebody will tease you after that. You ask a wrong question. Huh? That's why. Okay. Then I switch over to the other. Huh? So you are bored. Okay. You don't want to ask questions. One question from this side. Let me see. Somebody should ask. Get up and ask, I say. You need not get up. You can sit and ask. Okay. Fine. I won't force you. Now you switch over to the other one, sir. Anekanta. Since I was asked to say something links between science and spirituality, is a very complicated question. Okay. Let me tell you, maybe some of you are God's grace, emancipated much more than what I am, even after so many years of life. Maybe there. I cannot rule it out because it's a spiritual world is something very different. I know. I am not, I won't even call myself novice, but I am staunchly anchored in scientific way of thinking. It means engineering also is a scientific way of thinking. Whether it is a doctor, medicine, and all that, we are all scientific method. We want how many, a doctor won't say immediately how many this thing. I want to take the readings. You won't say that, oh, I will cure you like that. I will get me the blood pressure reading, get me this test. That is observation and then doing it. That's what I am anchored in. But still, there is so many things in science which are taking place, which had taken place, which I also knew right from my young age, from how it is going on. And science, really true scientist will not say that he or she knows everything. It is a growing, lot of capabilities, but still always something unknown will be there. But what that unknown is, In science, will say we don't know. Spiritual people will say that is something there. Okay. So now I look at it in the world. This is purely science. I was asked to talk. Actually, I was a little bit scared in a sense that there was some great Jain philosophers. You know, Jains, Mahavira and all that thing. And one of the great Acharya Mahaprajna, very great man, he is no more. I had a good fortune of knowing him. And Dr. Kalam and he were very great friends. And actually, that Acharya is about 11 years elder to Dr. Kalam. Then you can imagine. Dr. Kalam is about 12 and a half years elder to me. Okay, then for me, for Acharya, I am like a bacha. So around 2002, that is why you will find it there. He decided that I give a talk on Anekanta. Have any of you heard Anekanta? Ekanta, Anekanta. So simple as this. If you know Sanskrit, it is not one, always there is an opposite. This is what their thing actually is one of the very powerful principle in the Jain religion. Therefore, it gives you first of all a humility. Even though you have done so much of thing and then know that this is the final one. As of that day, they know. But still, it is called Syadvad. See, one way of looking at it is, and then they will tell. Because there may be another way, we don't know. It may come up tomorrow, or somebody else may know. So that is where the thing is. But leave it aside, that doesn't mean that every Jain practices it, just as every Hindu doesn't practice all the great principles which have been told. Maybe not possible also. Some of them may not be possible. Some of them may be contradicted to each other. Very difficult. That they are all what I call, those things are called Dharma Shankar. You'll have, there is Dharma Shankar positions. Anyway, he asked me, I had to talk among the great scholars, even from abroad. I did it. Later, a couple of them were very great. They told me very good. Anyway, it is that I thought we'll link it. It links science to this. Don't try to bother your head now at this stage too much on these things, because you have to build up your life. Learn that such a thing is there, just as you put it in a memory file somewhere, no, which will be accessible. Put it somewhere in the file. Sometime later, at 10 years from now, you can pull it out and then see. Because you have to build up your life to see all the. You need not be a scientist, but still you will be in an organization which does innovation. So you have to be flowing along with that. Next one. You know the limit of speed of light? You heard the speed of light, no? Huh? So you have some number for that. Okay, forget it, C. We normally in physics, we like to call it as C, small c. Werner Heisenberg uncertainty principle, have you learned? Have you learned? You know that, no? So that is 10 raised to minus 12. Only it starts operating. This one operates at 10 raised to 12. Why that thing took place like that? See, isn't it a marvel? Then minus 12 there. And then here at this, after that you can't even know. There will be no further limit. The speed of light, that is the end. Okay, next. Growth of human knowledge. Knowledge and multiples of subjects, ever exploding super specialities and skill bases. Are they all part of reality? See, so much knowledge. One physics was there. It became thermodynamics, this one, that one, etc. So many things. Simply called chemistry, biochemistry, this one, no, pharma chemistry, dental. My time when I was at your age, there will be only one doctor, dental doctor. Now you say orthodontic and this dentic, that dentic, somebody who gives you this, all that stuff are there. Okay. So in every field it is so. Are they all real or unreal? They seem to be giving results for you. There are so many problems. In our time, there are so many women who were dying in after childbirth. Very high it was. Now it has gone down very low. At my time, when I was born, you know what is the average life expectancy? Suppose nothing has changed, the average remained the same. I would have died at the age before 32. My sister would have finished 26. Thank God, she is there 81. I am here. But this is so with many of us. So, in other words, lot of good things it has given. So, therefore, don't say it is out. So, is it the part of reality or an illusory transition in search of a reality? Yes, you find out, you find thermodynamics where you don't see any of these, then you see only atoms and molecules. Then you go further. Next, this will go into high physics, high form of physics, but that is otherwise it is the high form of physics and spirituality they touch somewhere. Feeling for others, forget the physics now. Feeling for others of humanity is utter poverty. Somebody is suffering, you feel something. Is it a Maya? Possibility of solution. There are possibilities you can solve their problem. Economic organization. Is it all illusion? Maya not worth? Arey Baba, these are all illusion. Over. Maya mayameta mahilam hitva. Over. Is that so? Next. Now, our great tradition. People think that Indian tradition is only otherworldly. You forget the world and you should die. You should never be born again. That is all your goal in life. That's what we give. We are given to know. But this Atharva Veda thing, you all know it? Paschema Sharadashatam Jivema Sharadashatam. Have you all heard it? Not heard it. Learn it. Okay. What they say, what a beautiful arrangement in it. Paschema Sharadashatam. May we see for 100 years. Because if you don't see, no worth for living. Jivema Sharadashatam. Then like this it will go. Then Buddhema Sharadashatam. Your living, eye is there, this one is there. Nowadays you find what they call as Alzheimer and dementia, no? It would have been there also. The buddhi is not working. The fellow is seeing, what are you? I don't know. So the buddhi should be continuously, let me keep on having the knowledge. Like that it will go. Then the last one is fantastic. Paschati Saradashatat. May all these be more than 100 years. That is the audacity of the civilization you are inheriting. So they felt that it is so. This comes in Atharva Veda. And this is, it intersperses in all the Vedas. Some of them they also put the Shrutiye Masaradashatam, hearing also they put. So in other words, have all these things that are connected with our body, senses, etc. Let us enjoy. It was not denied. But there may be limits for it. That's a different thing. Next. Truth in nature, physics, biology, or details of data, mathematically written laws. Software is another huge dimension. What is software? Can you touch it? But still it is a material thing. If that computer is not there, if you don't put on, whatever software you are loaded is no use. It doesn't have weight. It doesn't have mass. Have you ever thought about it? Because people have done experiment, because that is where the scientists, this thing is. They are loaded. You take an empty computer, keep it, weigh it to very accurately up to some micrograms, then load it with all the software, again weigh it, there is no weight change. What is it? But is it material or not material? Okay, next. This does not mean that Nirmal Verma tells, I am not going to read all this. Nirmal Verma says about art. Now, I told so far about science and other things. What is truth in art? You write poetries, even Shakespearean things, enjoyable, Kalidasa. They're all great works of art. You enjoy it. But what is it? It is a search for something. I am not going to tell everything there. And the crucial role of memory in art, which is to recover in art what has been lost in towards the depth of our life. Next. Animals have knowledge base too. They may not be codifying like you and me, but your cat knows what to come, where to come. Recently, I read, I was really amazed because they keep on learning. Somewhere, I think in Assam and some area, the elephants destroy many fields also. Some forest area also they destroy. So they try to keep it off some areas with a high voltage wire. Very high voltage, but very low current. Therefore, it will give a spike, but it will not dangerous. So after some time, for about 5-6 years, they were able to keep it up. Then suddenly they found the elephants have started coming. Then I was curious to know how they did. Very recent, about a week or 10 days ago, I read this report. What they have done, they have learned that going near that, they would have touched with their trunk. So like this. Then the same trunk they have used, caught hold of a trees nearby, and then threw the tree on them. Then all your wire and all will be gone. Connections gone. So they walked in. So they learn, but may not be at a rate at which we learn. Then this is another book. It may be too tough perhaps for you. Mind from Matter, Max Delberg. It's a fantastic book. 1986, I found out that he is a Nobel laureate. It's a next one. How is it possible? Oh yes, ask some questions. How is it possible that the mind, Darwinian evolution and other thing which comes, the life comes and some soup out of which life comes. Darwin was very clever. He said, I won't tell what is before life. Because I don't know, I can't study it. He was a pure scientist, therefore he told it. Now he's asking a question. Where from? Now they say some soup, chemical soup, and this happened, that happened, etc. That is why even some of the space research, asteroid, Mars and all, they are trying to find life. It's not that people like you mind. Some bacterial growth, some RNA, some DNA, that's what they are trying to find out. How it came. If the matter is completely inert, didn't have consciousness, how it came. Second, if that is only by Darwinian process of the 3 laws or the survival of the fittest and species, what is the use of how the art and everything has come? Yes, answered this question. Not fully, as a scientist he has explored. It's a fantastic way of looking at it. Now, this is where, now I'm digressing from this because you people will get bored if I show the whole thing. What it is like this. This is where a Hindu way of thinking, some of it, that these things have been there in the Hindu system. There is no question of the soul, the consciousness being only in you and me, or maybe animals, maybe bacteria. Because some religions will take it only in sentinel. In the Hindu one, it is also the inert. Because if you go through all that, I am there everywhere. I am there. So it is also apparently they mean this also. Okay, next. Then I think I'm going to skip all this. Homo sapiens, what we are is only 40,000 years ago. Before that, many things have been there, each killed with each other, some died by themselves, all that. Next. What are we perceive as a raw sensory data? You think that here he has given a lot of data. You will be given in your book, eye vision, cornea, this one, lens, camera. It's not like that. It's very, very different. We don't have access to raw data. It is lot of filtered data which comes in. In other words, it is also predetermined. So the neuro-consciousness is something very different. That is where it looks like the spirit, because at one other point he will do, next I will go, I will tell him to go. Next. This is the thing. I see you as a different. You as a different, tree as a different. But whereas, have you seen a newborn child? Newborn child, have you seen just almost immediately? Immediately means when it starts seeing, when the eye and all, from 2-3 months, it will be looking like that. Nothing. They will say, the people are, oh, it's smiling at me. It is not smiling at you. It is doing some twitching of its own. So what happens is, there is so much of data coming. It is called phylogenetic, ontogenetic. It is given by nature, what has come from the amoeba to this thing, that thing, it is going in, which it is getting cut at the time, first few months. So you are removing so that you can survive. All the data of the world which comes, you can't survive. Your brain processing capability is not there. So that is what gives you the difference that I am you and you. In quantum mechanics, there is a problem. Observer and observed, there is a problem there. They stop it there. They are trying to find it out, etc. So here, there is this difference. So actually, he has not read anything on Hinduism and all. This is almost, it is the parsimony of the number of elements you choose. So we are cut down the number so that I can survive, I can read. I can live a normal life. If it is not there, it will be like this. So this is the almost close to looking like the Advaita. Emancipation, I think that probably some of those who are, I am nowhere near any of those enlightened thing in my brain. My brain works normal, this division and everything, it will grow, but is able to absorb some of it. What it looks like is that data and other thing, they are able to take much more of data around the world. So they are, I see intellectually, we are all connected. Our genes, this one, that one, to amoeba, to that one, to everything connected. Intellectually, I can see, but I can't feel it inside me. That probably those who are enlightened, not everybody who wear certain things, etc., or goes to pray, it doesn't become. Only those. There they see everything. Everything together as one, probably. But he has arrived at it purely in a scientific form. It is the parsimony of the data. What is it? It is. See, I think the Zoom is saying over, I think. It is the parsimony of the data, the number of elements singled out for attention, that makes the notion of duality of the observer and the observed so successful and gives the mission, physics, etc., totally distinct from the observer. So I will not go next further. I am not going to say anything more. So the cut which you are seeing, very essential, you have to separate it out. Each one in super speciality is necessary for scientific and work in this world. I found that in one of your website or the letter which our Bhupal has sent to me, apara knowledge and para knowledge. Paravidya, aparavidya. The aparavidya is not against. Some people tend to write it as avidya. They remove the para and then say avidya, call it ignorance. It's not exactly so. If you see the Isha Upanishad, it will just say what it is. I don't know the Upanishad, I can't repeat it, but it says like this: to the darkness they go who only pursue this aparavidya. But still greater darkness they go, those who only do the paravidya. Both are necessary. This is sustaining the body, soul, and then the human race. It is necessary because in Gita he very often says, if I don't do work, if everybody stops doing work, the world is not there. It has to keep going. So this part of it, that one, actually, now I am not going to deal with it in detail. You look at it into, I especially wrote it for you. Wrote it somewhere I kept it. 1 minute. I thought that Vijnanam, now most of us think that Vijnanam is science. In the actual spiritual literature, Vijnanam is not science. This is comes under Jnana Vijnana Yoga. You go and find out. And I would recommend one of the best translation is by Swami, what is it? Swami Sukhabodhananda, I think. Ramakrishna Mission. Not Sukhabodhananda, Swami, other this thing. Jnanam Teha Savijnanamatam Vakshyami Aseshata, he says. Jnanam and Savijnanam. Jnanam and Vijnanam, I am going to tell you with full knowledge. He says that. I shall teach you in full the knowledge combined with realization. Vijnanam is actual realization. Feeling it inside, actual experience. Knowledge is everything. Rigveda, what I talk, everything. You do puja, all that thing under, we are doing it with the senses. When you go beyond that, get it directly, the knowledge, truth. That is what our ones which says. Swami Chidbhavananda. Okay. No, nothing more remains to be known. Whatever is comprehended with the aid of senses, mind, intellect is jnana or knowledge. And vijnana is the direct grasp of the reality, come about through the self-discipline. The former is immediate, the other is immediate. You get it directly. One is derived through sight, other through insight. That is the vijnana is through the Vega I defined here. Tuition is needed for the former. Knowledge. What all I told, now you learn everything is required. For the other, what is required is intuition. The former is paroksha jnanam. The later is aparoksha jnanam. Endowed with both of these, the aspirant get to know the Brahman or the truth. In other words, what I understood from reading many of it, Bhagavad Gita, Isha, any of it, is that both are required. You need the first part, what I said, living in the material world and living it correctly. What is correctly is a very complicated thing to say. Each one of us have to define. Much more we can learn from Mahabharata. There are many things which are around there. Many of you will know Kannada, no? Well, I can't speak Kannada. There is a Vachana Mahabharata by A.R. Krishnamurti, but it is also in English. Very beautiful one. Essential Mahabharata. You will get to know many aspects of life. What the complications that you have to live. Your life you have to live. I can't live your life, you can't live my life. We all have to live. But there are some common things there which you can learn. So you require this and you have to be aware of that. How to get it, I don't know. But here you have got people who may tell you what to do. Thank you. Any comments or anything you want to make on this, you can make it. Just a few more minutes. Yeah? Anything? Yeah, you want to say something? Come on. Yeah. I am not able to hear you. Otherwise, you come here and talk, I say. Come here and talk. Go, come. Take it and speak. Take it and speak. Don't tell it. See, you tell about. I will see it.
Is science is influenced by spirituality or spirituality is influenced by science?
What did you get in this? When you ask this question, you tell me. What did you get? Otherwise, I will quote some common proverb.
As I heard that you are speaking about Aparavidya and Paravidya, you are giving examples in spirituality and talking about the technologies and innovations. I think.
That is only towards the later. First part I was trying to hard science I was talking. Isn't it? Later I told Paravidya and Aparavidya a little bit. That was only partly 5-10 minutes to make it a little popular. Continue. Which is influencing what?
Spirituality is, science is influenced by spirituality.
Spirituality. Why? Just because I am from a science background. Huh? So your question is, in ours we say, the joke they will say. It doesn't matter. Take it with a light humor. Huh? Is that after the whole Ramayana, you know that question, no? You know that. No? So therefore, I don't have to tell it. So, but the thing is, science. No, let me tell you. According to what I see, now this is, I may not be perfect, okay? Because I am not, I won't say that I am great in science, and I am probably very small in spirituality related matters, okay? But still, what I see is, knowing more and more the way the science goes, the scientific theories go, scientific knowledge goes, it creates in you, for a truly discerning people, it creates in you much more humility than anything else does. Because I told you in the beginning, science, it doesn't know everything even after doing that. The best scientist will say, after discovering something, even now you see, even the little thing like COVID, they will say, how the mutant takes place, I don't know. Once you go into the front of the knowledge, you know how many things you don't know. That creates in you an utter humility. That humility itself is a great source of, because if you see spirituality, they always say, humility, don't say that ego, you bring it down. Is most of the things Baba used to, I and me, you take it out. That is you have to bring down the humility, ego. That means the humility index should go up. The humility goes up if you are a true scientifically minded. That is why many of the fellows like Einstein and all these fellows, Oppenheimer, even this scientist, see, he was a great man. He was a physicist, come biologist. The way he was exploring still, they are exploring, continuously exploring. So to that extent, if we adopt I will reframe your question like this. If I adopt a truly scientific method of looking at things, then you understand the diversity of life. You see at the same time commonality of everything. You want to call it nature, you want to call it laws, you want to call it spiritual, you want to call it Brahman, you want to call it anything else. It's possible. So they will be much more amenable and they won't be arrogant. So if you see most of the things where they will say you want to be spiritual, they nakrodha, matsarjam, like that they will tell. No matsarjam, no krodha. All that thing comes if you truly adopt a scientific attitude to life. To that extent, you can say it is. But whether the other side of it, how it will influence, is likely to take place probably in you people's lifetime. In another 15, 20 years, lot of work going on in neurosciences. You will know what happens to the people who are enlightened or spiritually progressing. Enlightened is very high level. Because Krishna says only a very few people will do that. Most of them are progressing in the world. To them, how it does. So there is a link in that. I don't like to use the word spirituality at all. Because nowadays everybody uses spirituality for everything. Whatever they want to, don't want to use the word God directly, then they will say, oh, I am not religious, I am spiritual. For me, spirituality and religious, there is no difference for me. That is, you see something beyond you, which you are not able to grasp. But you know something seems to be existing. You want to be on that. In fact, the last one I had put, Manika Vasagar has told so nicely about God. In that one of it is about Parvati. I don't know, some of you know Tamil, you will find it very easy. Bedittu nammai valarth, that is all it ends there. Bedittu nammai valarthedutha peivalaidan pada tirambadi adelor embavai. Bedittu, each one of us, you have made us different. And valarthu edutha, you see the word come, valarthu, means grow, edutha. It is like a mother, the way the word comes is like a doing. Vedithu nammai valarthedutha peivalaidan. Peivalaidan, the one which who is with the bangle, that is Parvati. Peivalaidan padat kirambadi adelor embavai. So all this gives you, so if you are truly scientific, see, I am hardcore on business and all. If somebody comes to me, oh, this is the thing, oh, it is for good for the world. Arey Baba, kaisa paisa layega? How it will be return of investment? What I told, all of them are real. At the same time, I want to help out. I want to do beyond. I want to see this. I talked about security and also I told Paritranaya sadhutam vinasaya dushkratam. That also is necessary. Spirituality doesn't mean anything goody. But at the same time, you are trying to elevate yourself and hopefully people around you, not to have the krodham, not to have unnecessary, some of it were there in it, I removed it. Unnecessary desire. Desire is good. But I want to have competition with others is also good up to some point. But to a point that, okay, Buddha it calls it mana. Tanha, mana, and ditti it comes. Tanha is, that is all in the slide. You people can take it. I think you can make it available to whomsoever wants, they can take it. Give it to only those who want. Because if you keep it, then they won't read. What is available, they won't read. They have to seek, it shall be given to you. So you do that way. So this one, mana is something, I am better than that. My sari is, her sari is better. Her this thing is better. Her child is better. Even though fellow got everything in life. Then the come ditti. Everybody should say what I say. Because some of the extremists who are around, they want life to be the way it is seen. Whereas she has made, it comes in biodiversity, cultural diversity and all that. Okay. I hope that I gave you something on what you, I hope that I tried to translate her question. Both doesn't influence, they are intertwined. Just as science and engineering, life, everything is intertwined. There is an opposite, this is Anaikanta, but the opposite gets intertwined. When it becomes one, then you are enlightened. I am not enlightened, but I know that there is a possibility exists. Anything else? Anybody else? Okay, good. From that side, compensated by, she came out and then put the question. Anybody else in this side? So this is all science and then that is all spirituality, is it? Huh? Okay. Over. Shall we call it a day? Okay. Bye. Now it is time for you to tea. Tea and coffee, no? Tea, coffee or snacks. Okay. Go. That's also equally important.
Thank you, sir, for such a mind-boggling talk. Now, I request Sister Janvi, who is pursuing her final year in BSc Science, to give her vote of thanks.
Very good afternoon to all the sisters and my teachers and staff who are seated here, and to those who are joining us live. On behalf of university's leadership team, staff and students, I would like to extend my gratitude to sir for giving us such a wonderful insights. I personally understood three things from this whole talk: that science is not about burying your heads in the books and physical formulas. Spirituality is not about sitting in one place, closing your eyes. Innovation is not about just building new things. Science is about lifting your heads from the books, seeing around you what is science. Spirituality is opening your eyes and cherishing the moments that God has given us to cherish. And innovation is updating yourself to go to a new extent, to explore a different realm of being. Thank you, sir, again. And I give.
Thank you, Sister Janvi. We will end the session with prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शांति शांति शांति. Thank you once again and Jai Sai Ram.